You know that feeling when someone's been screaming the truth for years and everyone called them crazy? Well, Wendy Williams just got the biggest "I told you so" in celebrity history. While Diddy's empire crumbles under federal trafficking charges, old clips of Wendy are resurfacing. And one moment involving her teenage son is freaking everyone out.
Who I met backstage,
He did?
He's a great young man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
She warned us. They silenced her. They called her messy, paranoid, unprofessional.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy, and she was on the radio talking all this way back in the day. I've been telling you things for years, but you don't want to hear, so all right, fine.
But now, over 100 victims are stepping forward. And suddenly, Wendy doesn't sound crazy. She sounds right.
You know that feeling when someone's been screaming the truth for years and everyone calls them crazy? Well, Wendy Williams just got the biggest "I told you so" moment in celebrity history. While Diddy's empire crumbles under federal charges, old clips of Wendy dropping warnings are going viral. And one particular moment involving her teenage son is making people's skin crawl. The woman they tried to silence might have been the only one brave enough to speak up. Wendy's prophetic warnings come back to haunt everyone. But first, let's talk about how the industry tried to destroy the one person who saw this coming. Wendy Williams wasn't just stirring the pot for ratings, she was documenting a pattern. For decades, this woman dropped cryptic bombs about Diddy's behind-the-scenes behavior that everyone dismissed as messy gossip. We're talking about warnings that go back to the 90s, when she was still on Hot 97 radio.
Get fired for making fun of Puppy?
Yeah, by Hot 97, I had to fight a lawsuit. You know what it all came down to? They
down to gay rappers. That's what
gay rappers and expose them. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy, and she was on the radio talking all this way back in the day. I've been telling you things for years, but you don't want to hear. So all right, fine. And I don't understand parents who unleash their kids. Oh. It's just a deeply moving story to me, because I know all of the story.
And what happened when she tried to expose the truth? Diddy allegedly got her fired. Not suspended, not warned. Straight up terminated from one of the biggest hip-hop stations in New York. Wendy claimed he pressured the station after she aired rumors about his personal life and relationships with younger people. This wasn't some petty celebrity beef. This was career assassination. The industry didn't just ignore Wendy's warnings, they actively punished her for speaking out. She was blacklisted from events, excluded from industry circles, and basically treated like a pariah for asking uncomfortable questions. Wendy claimed that Diddy used his industry power to silence her, blacklist her from events, and damage her career.
Wendy Williams, radio personality, TV personality, Wendy Williams, was announcing in her super highly rated afternoon show that might have been even syndicated then that she had big news coming that involved Justin Dior Combs. Perked my ear up. I said, yo, what's going on? We started calling everybody. He was calling me. He got a heads up. He started calling the bosses at Hot 97. The street team was listening. They heard. The executives heard. We instantly all left the office, 19th Street, some in cabs, some in cars, some running all the way down to Hudson Street where Hot 97 was to get down there just to handle the situation and make sure that that picture was not exposed to the masses and was not delivered through Wendy Williams.
So the gentleman in the video is Kirk Burroughs he's the former president of Bad Boy.
While Diddy was being celebrated as a mogul and tastemaker, Wendy was getting painted as an unhinged gossip queen who couldn't be trusted. But here's the twisted part. Now that over 100 alleged victims are coming forward with claims of sex trafficking, coercion, and abuse, suddenly, Wendy's conspiracy theories look like investigative journalism. The same people who called her messy and unprofessional are now acting shocked by revelations she's been hinting at for literally years. Wendy didn't just lose a job. She lost her reputation for telling a truth nobody wanted to hear. And the industry that silenced her, they enabled what came next. The viral clip that's making everyone uncomfortable. And then there's this 2017 interview moment that's got TikTok losing their minds. There's a clip going viral right now from when Diddy appeared on Wendy's show. And honestly, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
The mother of a now 16-year-old.
Who I met backstage,
He did?
He's a great young man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
During what should have been normal celebrity small talk, Diddy mentions that he met Wendy's teenage son backstage. Not, "I saw your son," or "your son seems nice." He specifically said he met him, with this weird emphasis that makes your skin crawl. But what really tells the story is Wendy's reaction. Her face completely changes in that moment. You can literally watch the discomfort wash over her as she tries to process what he just said on live television. This is a woman who's known for being unfiltered and fearless, and she looked genuinely disturbed. TikTok creators are now dissecting this clip frame by frame, and the comments section is a horror show.
We can free Britney Spears. We can free Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams went on The Breakfast Club today with Charlamagne and gave an hour-long interview over the phone, and it was very eye-opening. Mainly because the reports of her illness means she has been in a dilapidated state mentally, and she shouldn't be able to have been as astute or aware as she was. There were some key moments in this interview, particularly around Diddy, where she goes into, not detail, but on a rant saying, if you guys knew what I knew, Diddy was going to be in jail for life.
All the stuff that she's been saying for years is coming to fruition now.
Let's talk about that to prove that she's not cognitively
all that
impaired.
Stuff she's been talking for years.
Wendy, you got fired from Hot 97 years ago because of Diddy. All these years later to see where Diddy currently is. What do you feel about that situation?
Hey, when I watch TMZ and I see the stuff that goes on, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden I see me on TMZ. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird seeing me on TV when I'm caught in this position. You know what I'm saying? As far as Diddy will go to prison for life, people. You don't know things that I knew about Diddy back in the day. And you want to know what? It's about time, people. It is about time. Diddy done. Diddy done, do-da day.
How you doing?
And I told you guys that Wendy knows a lot. And hopefully, like Charlamagne said, he ended the call by saying, whoever her caretakers are, don't take her phone away from her because she did this interview. She needs to have a podcast. And I honestly do think Wendy needs to come back. That lady knows a lot of stuff.
It's her guardianship and everybody else. Y'all cannot hide Wendy. Do not hear this phone call and see this all in the news and think you're going to take away her phone and you're going to isolate her. No, we know the address where she at.
But I wasn't aware that she was under a conservatorship like this, where she doesn't have access of her phone. What are you guys' thoughts?
I love you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, I love you. Hey, Wendy.
Yes?
Come on, you know what you got. You can't just end with, we love you. You know what you got to end with.
How you doing? Shout it out.
People are pointing out how Wendy's entire body language shifted, how she immediately tried to change the subject, how she looked like a mother who just realized something terrible about someone she already didn't trust. What looked like awkward small talk back in 2017 is completely different now. Fans are connecting dots between this moment and the current allegations, and the pattern that's emerging is making everyone sick. This wasn't just an uncomfortable interview moment, it was a red flag being waved in real time on national television. The fact that this clip exists, that we can all watch Wendy's maternal instincts kick in as she realizes what kind of person she's dealing with, makes everything she's been saying for decades hit harder. She wasn't just gossiping, she was protecting people, including her own child. The industry's silent complicity finally breaks. But here's where it gets really dark. Turns out other people knew. 50 Cent's been calling Diddy freaky for years, making jokes about his parties and his behavior that everyone assumed was just typical hip-hop beef. But looking back at those posts and comments, Curtis wasn't trolling, he was dropping breadcrumbs. When someone repeatedly calls another person freaky and warns people about their parties, maybe we should have been listening instead of laughing. And 50 wasn't the only one. Music industry veterans are now coming forward saying they heard similar stories about Diddy's strange behavior around minors, but they stayed quiet out of fear. Fear of retaliation, fear of being blacklisted, fear of having their careers destroyed the same way Wendy's was. Think about that for a second. Multiple people in positions of power knew something was wrong, but the same system that protected Diddy silenced them all. But where were these voices when Wendy was standing alone, getting crucified for asking the right questions? Meanwhile, Wendy's finally getting her vindication, but it's bittersweet. She's dealing with her own health struggles, watching from the sidelines as the industry that destroyed her reputation finally admits she was right. The woman they called crazy turns out to be the sanest person in the room. Why this matters beyond celebrity drama. And this isn't just about one fallen mogul, it's about a system. What happened to Wendy Williams is a masterclass in how industry power can bury inconvenient truths for decades. When someone with Diddy's influence wants you silenced, they don't just come for your job, they come for your credibility, your relationships, your entire livelihood. They make sure that even if you keep talking, nobody will listen. Wendy paid the ultimate price for speaking truth to power when no one would back her up. She went from respected radio personality to industry outcast for doing what journalists are supposed to do, asking hard questions about powerful people. The pattern of silencing accusers while protecting predators isn't unique to Diddy. It's the blueprint that allows abuse to flourish in entertainment. But here's what gives me hope. This story is finally breaking through. Other potential victims are seeing Wendy get vindicated and realizing they don't have to stay silent anymore. The wall of protection that kept these stories buried is cracking, and once it starts, it doesn't stop. This could be the beginning of a much bigger reckoning in entertainment, not just for Diddy, but for everyone who enabled him, everyone who silenced the people trying to warn us, and everyone who chose protecting power over protecting victims. Wendy Williams didn't just predict this scandal, she sacrificed her career trying to prevent it. The least we can do is make sure her warnings weren't in vain. Now, Wendy Williams went from industry pariah to prophet in the span of a few viral clips. While Diddy faces the consequences of behavior she's been warning about for decades, her vindication comes at a cost. Years of career sabotage and public ridicule for telling uncomfortable truths. But maybe that's the real lesson here. Sometimes the person everyone calls crazy is the only one sane enough to see what's really happening. Sometimes the inconvenient truth teller isn't the problem. They're the solution we're too scared to accept. Was Wendy a victim of industry retaliation or just ahead of her time? Drop your thoughts below. And if you think this goes deeper than one person, you're probably right, because something tells me we're just getting started.